we're live on the platforms we're live on. Not yet live on the platforms we're not live on, but soon to be. Also live on Instagram, which today will be a test of just how flexible Instagram's new policies are, and Facebook's.
Yeah, like if they'll let us say retard.
I think they might let us get away with that. I think it might be how we handle the breaking news of the moment, really, that just happened, which is what we're going to talk about today. I'm joined here by Ian. Sorry, Canada. Gaza is going to be the 51st state, and drones over Chick-fil-A. You know, Trump better get that federal income tax eliminated tomorrow.
Yeah, to get the ERS, open the ERS tomorrow.
The
They
External
can work
Revenue
from home.
Service?
That's called the External Revenue Service. They're allowed to work from home.
Only them
Yeah.
from Gaza. They're allowed to
Gaza,
work. But
yeah.
that's technically – well, I bet the housing prices in Gaza are going to be fantastic.
I bet they are, and we should tax the Gazans to send us aid.
Of course.
You know?
We should all get a Gazan,
Yeah.
right? Is that what you call them?
Get a
That's what we should
Gazan.
joke about the tragedy. It's just very far away from here. And
Yeah, it's true.
it is very sad, but there's only so much emotional bandwidth that any human has. And there's tragedies that go on all over the world, and we wouldn't live our lives if we spent all of our time consumed with all of them. I think we can be empathetic, but I think we also have to live our lives.
Listen, you know, a dark sense of humor is a survival technique, and it's good for your mental health.
Right, yeah. If I did
so
15
everyone-
minutes in Gaza, I'd kill.
Well, I'm not even
Or
gonna,
be killed. It's really
Yeah,
a
exactly.
dangerous crowd over there.
Yeah.
But it won't be anymore. It won't
I don't
be
know.
anymore.
I'd probably bomb.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously that's the subject of the day. And, you know, I had a show ready, and then Trump had to parade out there with Bibi Netanyahu, who has like the... I'm not a Bibi Netanyahu fan. I don't like his voice. He sounds a little like a cartoon villain to me with the way he talks. I mean, isn't he supposed to be from another country? Why does he speak like he is voicing a character on, you know, one of those cartoons?
President Trump.
Fake Trump watches, you know.
We are
Right,
going
yeah.
to. He's kind
he
of
takes-
like this.
He
gotta
takes
work on
classes to
that.
like
Yeah.
deepen his voice so far. It's just something about him. Nevertheless, before we dive into that subject, I want to read a quick comment from Bianca,
Oh.
who says, literally the reason I've been watching the show for a year now is for the humorous mockery of propaganda and for Reginald.
Oh, no.
I need more Reginald. Please. LOL. Thank you for that, Bianca. We might have some more Reginald for you coming
Well, now
on
that
Thursday.
there's a ceasefire and the fires have been put out, now that the ceasefire in Gaza and the fires
Yeah, he's
in
gone.
Palestine,
Trump kicked him out of Gaza, so, we're gonna
he's
be able to get
coming
him
back. He's and apparently he's been he went to Blue Sky
Yeah, right.
and now he's coming back
Good. So
to
we're going to get to talk to him on Thursday, so your wish will be granted there. But that is a comment that warms my heart, and I'm sure Ian's as well. And that's one way you can help the show is leaving comments like that on our videos, on the podcast app you listen on with a 5-star rating. That helps the show
Yeah.
up higher in the search engines. Or you could help the show financially if you are in a position to by going to tinyurl.com/propshow and making a one-time or recurring donation to help sustain the show. Recurring donations can be $1, can be $5, can be whatever you want. Patreon.com/propaganda report if you want to get the audio podcast version of the show ad-free, delivered directly into your private RSS feed. I take all the ads out for Patreons. And also just share the show with your friends and hang out with us. All right, I hate advertising like that, but it's over now.
No, you did great. You did great. People love it. They want to know.
It's over now.
They
Just-
want to know
just
you're
an hour of
helping
that.
them.
We'll just do an
Brad,
hour of
Brad,
that.
you got your intention is you're helping. You're not being pushy. You're helping. Okay.
I know, I am.
Right.
And I don't do 15 minutes.
This is
at
how
the
I
top of the
coach
show,
salespeople, Brad.
Okay. Really, a
It
sales
is.
coach.
That's how I coach my managers. Like you're not
Okay,
being pushy.
so how do you make the media suddenly forget how angry they are about the DEI going away, the Department of EDU and USAID being cut back some, and the 5,000 FBI employees info being handed over? Well, you say that the U.S. we own Gaza now, and then all of a sudden everybody forgets all of the other news. They've been getting outrage, trying to stir up outrage today. It's not really the 51st state, as I said at the top, but kind of feels like Canada got the boot there. But Trump just did this announcement, just did this press conference just like an hour ago, I think it ended, or so maybe even less than then, with old Bibi Netanyahu, the comic book villain, that he said that we're taking over Gaza, that we're going to own it. He said that multiple times, and that we're going to rebuild it. And then this was really funny to me because I watched the earlier press conference, and he was very strategically, he was pretending to mishear some of the questions because he did not want to say that Israel was going to be, taking over the Gaza Strip. So he would respond to a question. He would get a question about, are the Palestinians going to be able to come back? And he'd be like, how can you come back? You can't come back. It's so deadly. And then someone would say, what about the greater Israel? Is there going to be, are they going to come in there, resettle a bit? And he'll go, no, they can't come back. It's too deadly. And then here he says, we're going to build it back up for the people in the area. And he has a nice little pulse there. And I'll let you see that announcement that he made.
Yeah.
Let me just go here. Why is there only one U.S. flag and two Israeli flags?
This is a shocker. I got to be honest with you.
Honestly, I know a lot of people are upset about it. I thought it was so hilarious.
I think it's hilarious. I told you what I think it really is, dude.
I thought it was so funny.
I think, look, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think this is an ultimate troll and an opening move, a ridiculous move in a negotiation.
That's why I wish they were doing that.
I know,
doing the whole thing.
Look, if Egypt doesn't want it and Israel doesn't want it,
we're going to own it.
We're just going to take it.
Yeah, Gaza's ours.
How long do you think before some Middle Eastern country steps up and takes this over now just to keep the U.S. out?
Well,
we'll see.
I don't know. I do think he's serious about the Palestinians not coming back there. I think that's been the plan all along. But let's hear the statement here. So he should have done all this other stuff he's been doing after this.
Sure.
The Department of Education and all. He should have tried to wash this away in the onslaught of news instead of making this the focus.
Yeah. He's probably just dealing with them as they come up.
Yeah, here he is.
We'll take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
the people of the area.
A real job. Do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Yeah, we got to turn the page, dude. That's
so
what I'm saying.
It's funny because he immediately starts saying you can't go back, talking about the Palestinians, but the people in the area, it's just funny the way he knows. He's very aware of what, but people know what he's saying here. And he says here, this is from earlier in the day, where he's talking about the Palestinians, how they, we're not going back. We're not going back. He can give them those signs that all the Stop Project 2025 people were using. And he can say, you're not going back. Here's the signs. It says I don't know why they did a press conference after doing like an hour-long sit-down in front of the fire. Notice Bibi here, who seems to be mirroring Trump. And while Trump is talking about how the Palestinians are not going back, focus on Bibi Netanyahu's or Benjamin Netanyahu's face and the shit-eating grin he has on it during most of this clip.
Peter?
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell.
Build them a water park.
It's been one of the meanest, toughest places on earth. And right now, I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live.
He's seen every picture from every angle better than if he was there. So I guess the bird's eye view is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Live there. So if we can build them through massive amounts of money, supplied by other people, very rich nations, and they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, and it could be Egypt, it could be other countries, and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing.
Why don't they just
Townhomes.
build a city? Like they have those cities on the water now where people just live on boats.
Yeah. 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhomes. Yeah, or the floating cities.
Yeah, the floating. Just give them a floating city.
mini homes, trailer parks.
They could give them
Trailer parks. How about we give them trailer parks, dude? The Middle East would love
Give
a
them a
trailer
shipping
park.
container.
Yeah, container homes.
You
Quaint
can
little
fit
container
20 or
homes.
30 of them in one of those, right?
What's that?
You can fit 20 or 30 of them in one of those.
Oh, well, it depends. It depends, yeah, how you load it in.
All right, he finishes up here.
Like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die. Because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again.
He's right about that.
He is
happened.
right about
He knows
this.
Bibi Netanyahu, the psychopath there, and the Hamas
Look.
fighters. It's just gonna. It's
The only people who want a two-state solution are liberals who do not live in Israel or Gaza. Neither Israel or Gaza, they don't want a two-state solution. They want victory, one side or the other. And I hate to say it, but in the long run, historically, that's the only thing that's brought peace.
well, yeah, it's
And I think we just got to figure out how to be as humane as possible right now. But I just don't. I think he's got a point. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do at this point?
I mean, you
gotta
back
separate- you gotta
back
separate
one of them,
these-
or you stay out of it. You stay
Yeah.
out of it, and you see what happens. We give so much money, as Groby or Bad Christian says here. We give so much money to everyone. Gaza and Ukraine and Greenland and Canada belong to the U.S. of A.
I don't know.
Some,
I'm glad
some
they're
would
not
argue
asking
today
me. I
that
don't have the answer.
belongs to Israel. No, I don't have the answer to this either, and I'm not. I'm not somebody who's an expert on this subject here. I just.
No.
I don't like the people in power who exploit the public of Israel and the Palestinians who would rather not be living their lives amongst in this war.
Palestinians are highly educated people. This is what's so interesting about this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no school.
know.
They're gonna have to go. Their schools are gone now.
Over and over again. And it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back? They've experienced nothing but death and destruction.
Who would want to go back? Well, we're gonna build it up for the people in the area. So did you notice? Let me see if I can find it good. Look at him. Look at that smirk on BB's face.
Oh, we're going to build it up, aren't we, President Trump?
And his rhetoric too. Yeah, right. It's like, I know this is a biblical thing. It's called the Greater Israel Project. It's like been the plan all along, and people cite the Bible when they're saying that this is how it's supposed to be and whatnot, and in their support of Israel. Bad guys can also read the Bible. Bad guys are also often psychopaths who are willing to pretend to have good intentions. And Bibi Netanyahu, to me, doesn't come off as a good guy. He imposed the vaccine. He put a green card on the Israeli people. He begged for Israel and his people to be used as guinea pigs for lockdowns and for vaccinations for the world. All the studies were based on what they did in Israel. And the motto was, if you're not vaccinated, you're left behind. He keeps his vaccination needle, a syringe, on this little plaque on his desk, the one that he got, if he even got it. And if you didn't have a green card and didn't get the vaccine over there, you weren't allowed to participate in society. And he's, to me, that shows like he was so excited just to be the example, just to be the most vaccinated country in the world first, because he would brag about the different types of people that were there, and you could get all this, you could test different vaccinations on them. And this is setting aside the fact that he facilitated millions of dollars going to Hamas through Qatar, which went to Gaza, but Hamas was in control, so it was like $15 a month for years starting in 2018 that was going on up until they attacked on October 7th, yeah. So it's like, it seems like this is exactly what he wanted, and this is his plan playing out to me. So while I like the Bible, but bad guys can read it and use it to manipulate. And I just don't really trust Bibi Netanyahu, in my opinion. Not that I don't trust the Hamas people either, but it's like my thing is like, why is he giving them money? It feels like they're freaking working together.
Yeah, I think that people can maintain power by constantly managing a new crisis.
Of course. Yeah.
It sounds like what they like to do over there.
Yeah, Israel, the big producer of pharma and defense. How big is Israel? It's very small, right? It's like the size of Rachel Maddow's penis neck,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I don't trust the guy at all. But another clip, this is a funny clip. So Trump is like a deal maker. That's how he prides himself in being a deal maker, you know?
They're making deals.
Nobody's been able to convince Israel to just go somewhere else. Of course, that's not going to happen. And nobody's been able to just tell the Palestinians, just go somewhere else. Okay, you don't want to be here. But Trump seems genuinely convinced that they're not going to listen to anybody else, but they'll listen to me because I'm going to give them a beautiful place. And to his credit, whether this actually happens or not, he seems to be talking in a concerned way about let's make them build them a nice place.
Brad.
Go ahead.
Okay. You live in a town and it gets leveled, okay, by either war or natural disaster.
Yeah.
And you have a choice. Either FEMA can help you rebuild or Donald Trump and all of his construction experience. Who do you pick?
Well, I'd have to say
he was a commercial real estate agent, developer in New York, okay? I think he can handle Gaza. Brad,
have you seen the skating rink in 1987? The skating rink was taken.
He did the skating rink.
I took care of that skating rink in 6 weeks, and I'll do the same for Gaza.
How many skating rinks do you want?
There'll be skating rinks all over Gaza for
skating rink on every corner.
The people in the area.
Yeah. It'll be Christmas every day in Gaza.
Every day in Gaza, the Israelis will be celebrating, or the people in the area will be celebrating Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas is
I just don't like Bibi. Like Bibi here just seems like I don't like him at all. But yeah, it's like thinking he can make a deal. And to your point there, the argument against it is going to be they've been there for however long, their generations, their families have been there. If it's destroyed, they're going to be angry, obviously. But it's going to have to be a pretty good offer for you to want to actually to leave. And maybe Trump thinks he can do that.
I think this would be a lot like if Ireland took Northern Ireland back completely. Said there's no more two countries, one government, just we totally reabsorb you.
Right.
That's kind of what this would be like.
We're going to give a free penthouse
it's final,
to anybody who gets
baptized.
baptized.
It's pretty final. But at the same time, I don't know, man. It's hard because they keep going back and forth. Everything I read when I do somewhat of a light deep dive on this, it seems like the Israel's claim is rooted in the Bible to this area,
right? Yep.
And Palestinians, from what I understand, have been there since it was created by Europe. Right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Well, let's just flip a coin.
Right. It seems from a distance like something that could be solved in if we're going to give all this humanitarian aid.
Like a series of games?
Yeah, a series of matches. Like in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, like in any 80s comedy.
Yeah.
We have Gaza and Israel compete in a series of games,
Obstacle courses,
and then some games about
like
intellect.
Nickelodeon putty falls on them and
Yep,
stuff like
and
that.
whoever wins gets
To
everything.
murder the other ones.
Winner take all.
Yeah, I guess to kill the other ones. Or go somewhere else. But all of that money we've given to over there anyway for the aid or whoever the world's given, us I'm sure, a lot of it, could have been used to bribe them or buy them. I know people don't, I'm just saying what it seems like from a distance with an unemotional connection to it. I totally, where I grew up in Georgia and stuff like that, I've moved away here a number of times. I've lived in other states, but I've always been drawn back here. Because I have a connection to here. If Georgia was totally dismantled, I'd probably be angry about it. But that would make it easier to leave. It's all like, it sounds like sociopathic to even talk about it. But this is what I'm talking about with like emotional, the well you have to, I haven't been over there. I haven't met those people. I do wish them well, wish them well, whether they're Israeli or whether they're Palestinian. To me, it's people in a far off land that I don't like to hear about war, and I don't like to get atrocity propaganda thrust in my face all the time. And quite frankly,
Sure,
it's like identity politics with because Bibi Netanyahu's coming into town, and now we got Tom Brady and Snoop Dogg doing this I hate you anti-Semitism commercial stuff. I haven't seen the anti-Semitism rising personally, but this type of stuff, it's going to make people go online and be probably, because it'll get them attention, a little bit more aggressive with that type of conversation. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Thank you. Hit that like button. Make Israel great again, says DT.
Yeah.
The rock, paper, scissors would be good. Yeah, totally.
I agree with the assessment, though, that Hamas could have solved this a long time ago. And I get it. Israel created Hamas. I get it. But Israel was not leading Hamas at the moment when they came over in October 7th. And they weren't leading Hamas when they were continuing to hold hostages. Those guys could have surrendered at any minute. So it's hard for me.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to argue it was an ongoing war. That's the other argument of that.
If you were holding on to my family members and you put like your kid in between, I mean, I'm sorry, I'd probably take out your kid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I also
personal.
don't believe that they're the only ones that are doing that.
Correct.
I don't believe that the Israelis aren't doing that either. I think everything that they highlight, they say Hamas is doing, I think the Israelis are probably also doing. Yeah. I don't think there's
I get it.
Gentlemen on one side. And
No. I get it. And of course, my bias is always going to fall. My bias is always going to fall probably with Israel. And that's where I have to really question it. But of course it's going to fall with Israel, because when you see pictures of Israel, come on. It looks like America. They have Starbucks, they have this, they have that. It looks like kind of a version of home. It's hard not to have sympathy.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I brought up the Green Pass vaccination thing, to show how different that. I mean, it was bad here, but that is...
Oh, I get it. I get it, man. I'm just...
Denver here says that they tried to return some of the hostages, and Israeli and Netanyahu refused to take them.
I know, and who's... I don't know what to believe on that side either, because every side will be like, no, they fucked it up. No, they fucked it up.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a little bit of both. I think they both sides have interest in
I think everybody's lying to a certain extent.
Yes, sure. I don't have any hostages. That's all I can tell you. I have no hostages. Never had a hostage. Don't plan on ever taking one. Seems like a lot of responsibility.
That's the way you keep hostages, is you storm in somebody else's house.
Yeah.
Where they're least likely to look.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Netanyahu could at least have a little bit of, at least pretend to be sympathetic on his face. Because what Trump is saying, Trump is at least projecting sympathy, whether he means it or not. He seems to.
Yes.
Netanyahu is smiling like a shithead.
Yes. And I have a feel. Yes. He definitely has a very low opinion. He wants him gone. And I don't trust that he's the correct. Yeah. No.
Right. It's just, I mean, it's like he's wearing 3 pairs of whitey tighties to hide his boner because he's so excited here.
It is hard to how is this not going to become another Vietnam? This is just a police action? What are you going to, when he says the U.S. is going to take it over, what does that mean?
I don't know. To me, I think the whole thing here for me is like, let's just not get involved in this or Ukraine or any of this other shit.
Does that mean he's going to take over, I don't know, forcing countries over there to, he did say.
I don't know.
He did say, maybe get Jordan to open up a neighborhood.
Right.
Maybe 4 or 5 neighborhoods.
Yeah, we'll put a Dave and Buster's in Egypt.
Dave and Buster's, some AMC theaters, they'd have a lot of fun with Dave and Buster's over in the Middle East.
Because they've really gone downhill over here, so it could be a new opportunity to expand.
God, Dave and Buster's is awful.
It used to be a lot of fun. Now it's like driving through Castleberry at 9 p.m., like gunshots going off through there. All right, so moving on from that story, we'll see what happens there. Trump needs to do something big tomorrow because the reception from the Ben Shapiros are going to love all this, but I think a lot of the people who have been really excited about what he's been doing domestically, judging by the Twitter reaction.
Yeah, I'm not super thrilled about this. I'm definitely scratching my head.
They didn't have "Let's Own Gaza" on their
bingo
this
card. Was not on my
Texas
bingo
Road.
card.
Get them a Texas Roadhouse and bring back the cracking the peanuts and throwing them on the ground.
Yeah, fuck
they took that out during COVID.
Damn right, fucking federal government.
Why do you remove that during COVID? Are people going to the ground and eating the shells?
Yeah, man. Get COVID. They were just using the COVID as an excuse to get rid of everything.
Well, I used to love going to Walmart.
It all started with paper straws, Brad.
Yeah.
It all started with paper straws that year.
So, in news that Trump should have forced to break after all of this, the FBI turned over the details of 5,000 employees who worked on January 6 cases to the Justice Department, as agents are suing the Justice Department, saying that's a violation of their privacy. They didn't give the names, but they did comply with the demands, and they gave them the details of 5,000 employees who worked investigations related to January 6th. So, to the January 6th Capitol riot, as the article calls it. Okay. I think this is a little bit of a misdirection. A lot of people are excited, and they're kind of misrepresenting this. They're saying agents, 5,000 agents. It's 5,000 employees who they gave the details of their employee ID numbers, their job titles, and their role in the January 6th investigation. And they're going to go through these. Cross-eyed Patel and them are going to go through them and see their role individually. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they're going to be the first settlers in Gaza if they were part of something that they like. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's 1,300 total agents, and a lot of people are saying 40% of the agents were involved in it. It's not. No, it's 5,000 employees, not 5,000 agents.
Yeah.
And there's 38,000 total employees.
Fire them. So, who cares?
Right.
Fuck it.
But that's the X is going around, and almost 50% of the agents. So almost like they got agents beating down the door that might have been undercover. I'm guessing that they actually gave as few of the actual people who might have done something worth investigating or maybe even prosecuting over. That they probably gave the information of employees who are secretaries, who are administrators, who are doing they're getting the phone calls and they're just documenting things. That's what I'm guessing. That's why they said employees instead of agents. And that's an important differentiation because it's not 40%. I don't know what 5,000.
So this could be mailroom employees.
Yes, I bet that's what most of it is. Mm-hmm. But it's being projected as a win. It's a big win. It's a lot of these things are by the announcement of them or the possible announcement of them are being projected as big, huge wins, even though none of it has actually happened. So, some of it has with the DEI stuff, but Trump hasn't eliminated the federal income tax, the Department of Education, the USAID. They have done stuff to shut it down and cut off the website. All great, but they also gave power over to Marco Rubio, who just got voted as whatever his position is. 99. Everybody voted in favor of him. That to me is like everybody likes Marco. I've never liked
Right.
Marco Rubio.
Right.
And if all the Dems and the Republicans are in favor of him, he's a big war with China guy, which makes me think that it's not going to get rid of USAID, but we're going to take it, give it to Rubio, maybe repurpose it a little bit.
Yeah.
Hope not.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them get rid of it. It's an awful corrupt agency. Always has been.
It is, but like Trump said, he's said before, he's like, I like the idea of it. It's true.
And that's funny.
Soft,
So, yeah.
soft war is much preferable to hard war, for sure.
Right. Well, they used it for like regime change before,
Kinetic war.
they were using what he said when he made that comment the other day. The media was to say that Trump is going to get rid of it without congressional approval, and that part, which he said at the very end, I like the idea of it. Just not the people, showed that he's not going to get rid of it.
Right.
Yet an entire media cycle was outrage about how he's violating the Constitution. He's proving he's a dictator because he's going to single-handedly, without Congress. I'm like, this is all stuff that's it's fantasy. It's not going to happen, and it's right there in what he said, but they just ignore that. But that's what the media does. That's what they all do. And Trump's vague about it at first. They all play this little game. All right. I think that's... Oh, so they were given a survey, the employees were, to fill out. They asked them questions about their positions at the Bureau and their roles in January 6th, including whether they executed arrests, participated in grand jury investigation, or testified at trials. And I'm guessing that we're going to get very few of those in that 5,000, if I had to guess. So they're going to do an independent review of that. And, that's these stories, until I see a little bit more concrete action and what happens with it, I don't get super excited about any of this stuff, really, until further development.
Isn't he going about just doing what leftists are? Every one of those Democrat senators that was, were doing these hearings recently, they were worried about the weaponization of the FBI. Isn't he just, that's how I see it. He's just de-weaponizing the FBI.
Yeah, that's the hope. That's the hope, yeah.
And we should just create the FIB, just like in Grand Theft Auto. Just go ahead and make that the replacement FBI, because you just have to switch the. Well, the FIB is the FBI in Grand Theft Auto is the FIB,
right?
Right. So you keep the same letters. You just call it the FIB instead of the FBI, and you just you don't have to change the signs too much.
Right, you just switched it around a little
Same
bit.
font.
I don't think I showed you this last clip of Trump, but look at that smirk on Netanyahu's face there. It's a perfect smirk there. This is I forgot to show you this. This is the one where Trump is like, I'm going to convince them that they want to move somewhere else.
Well, I don't think they're going to tell me no. I don't think they're going to tell. I think they're going to tell Biden no, and I think they're going to tell other people no. So you think it will happen?
They're going to call Biden first and say no. And they're going to tell a few other people no.
Who is he talking about?
He's talking about, the question was, do you think that the Palestinians will want to leave? Do you think they'll be okay not coming back?
Why would they call Biden? I don't get that.
Because Trump is saying that nobody has been able to. They have always wanted to stay and always wanted to come back, and nobody has been able to convince them that there's a better option. If Biden said you can't come back, they'd say no. If other people said it, you'd say no. But me, I'm going to offer them this luxurious place in Egypt.
Okay.
They won't tell me no.
I think they're going to tell Biden no, and I think they're going to tell other people no.
Yeah, they should just get like the Epcot guys to just recreate Gaza. Just do a 2-scale recreation. Just recreate it, but somewhere else.
You could do like a high museum of art type thing and go experience it here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
The Gaza
There's a good
experience.
chance. Yeah,
How
I'd like
many
to see
people are you thinking about?
all of them. I mean, we're talking about probably 1.7 million
Talking about moving all of them.
1.7 million, maybe 1.8 million. But I think all of them. I think they'll be resettled in areas where they can live a beautiful life and not be worried about dying every day.
You get a big, beautiful shipping container.
God, look at that look on his face.
I know, he looks like...
I finally got what I want.
He did. He looks so
Oh, the West Bank is next.
evil.
Yeah, the West Bank is next, dude.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? I
Maybe.
do think it's easier for them. One of the things that makes it
Netanyahu's
so
gay,
tense for
Denver
them
says.
is that Israel is sandwiched in between the West Bank and Gaza. That is, if you got rid of one or the other, it would maybe de-escalate things potentially.
All right.
I don't know. I have no formal education. I'm just talking out of my ass.
No, I'm very open about it. I'm not an expert on the subject.
I'm just thinking about it like if I had two friends, like a married couple, and they were fighting, and they were coming to me
Mhm.
and going, Ian, help us settle
My
this
wife
fight.
just
I'm like,
carpet
why
bombed
me?
and my
Jeez.
kid.
Yeah. Why the hell do I have to settle this? You're
Yeah.
both going to hate
Right.
me by the end of this.
No, it does seem like Trump's got this very transactional, practical negotiation approach that I don't know that deep-seated generational.
I'm going to build. I'm going to build hummus rivers.
What do you want? Yeah, hummus. You want hummus? You can just
Hummus
dip
rivers.
chips in it. You can just
Dip
eat right
chips.
out of the river.
Sail down there on a pita boat.
You can eat the boat right out from underneath you.
Yeah, and you're not going to sink. And there's no sharks in pita
There's no
rivers.
sharks in Hummus River.
Yeah, pita and
From the Hummus River to the Hummus Sea, where you'll get a salty martini.
Yeah.
That's probably what he's going to be pitching. I'd like to see these negotiations he's having with these groups of.
And then what if he builds Gaza and then Bibi goes, President Trump, that's nicer than Israel. We have a problem here.
Then there's an attack on Israel again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like BB at all. All right, so good positive story here. Finally, a win for Georgia Tech.
No,
They don't get many wins, Georgia Tech, but
that's a win for everybody.
They got the win in that the institute is eliminating its DEI program.
Hell yeah.
They're ending it, and they're taking their websites down that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion.
You think it'll improve their football team?
I think that they're and it's gonna be nothing but white guys and Asians on their football team. The decision has drawn criticism from the Georgia NAACP, which is calling for a meeting with school officials, which I find interesting because Atlanta has 4 HBCU schools, and DEI programs helped white women the most. So I don't know why the NAACP is concerned with getting more white female instructors at Georgia Tech and researchers and students.
Gotta get them. Gotta get these white ladies out there and get them working.
There's a story yesterday in Georgia about this pastor, I think it's in Decatur, who he called for a ban. He called for black people to ban Target because Target's scaling back its DEI stuff because he feels betrayed. And again, white women were the ones who benefited the most statistically from DEI. So, but in all of these calls, all they talk about are helping black people. They don't talk about any of the other DEI. It's not just black people. It's all minorities is what DEI was supposed to help.
Yeah. People are confusing DEI with affirmative action. I've seen them confuse it with the ADA. They're confusing it with everything. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
I think what happens is Trump comes out and says DEI is causing plane crashes and it's killing people, and the FAA uses DEI instead of just picking the best person. And what Americans, then the press goes, can you believe this? President Trump is saying the DEI and the FAA, and I think Americans are now going, well, yeah, okay, yeah, that was stupid what he said, but wait a minute, they're using DEI and the FAA. Why?
The list of
just
people.
like with the
Hilarious.
they're eating cats and dogs in Springfield. People walked away from that going, wait a minute, they're busing migrants to Springfield? What? Huh?
Yeah, they're gonna eat the cats and dogs.
Yeah. But people forgot. They didn't give a shit about
Yeah,
that.
it's actually the white women that are eating the cats and dogs.
Yeah, they're the ones that ate all the cats and dogs. You see it all over their face.
Right. That's the
Bloodstained
DEI.
faces.
Yeah, and they don't even wash that shit. They keep it. They scream at you. Denver says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Soros was part of the deep state effort to imprison Trump and all that shit. The Republican boogeyman. I don't know. I don't know what the how far back the PSYOP goes. I know they make big plans. I know they, like an improviser, they take what happens and they shift and they use it. That's the mindset. It's I've always talked about these globalists is they have a number of avenues, and it's like what we're going to try and shape the world to happen in a certain way.
You have an objective, and then you have tactics.
Right, and whatever
the objective
happens,
never
you use it.
changes. The objective never
Exactly.
changes.
Yeah, somebody walks out of a you establish a refrigerator in your improv scene, and somebody walks right through it. You go, there's a secret, dungeon in the refrigerator, and then suddenly you're using the refrigerator. Everybody's going to hide in it. Everybody's going to have secret meetings in it, stuff like that. Whatever. Everything is used to further whatever your goal is. That was Caldwell's scene that I remembered. They did that.
God.
Yeah, no.
Juice and gin.
Juice and gin, yeah. Look up Barbecue Haitian Cartel.
She is a. That's.
That was a voodoo ritual.
Caps came up with the. She's a titty bully.
Yeah, she is.
She is such a titty bully.
Yeah, she is. Definitely.
You think the audience knows what a titty
I have
bully
no
is?
idea what we're talking. Well, I mean, they might know what that is. But.
Yeah.
So the Georgia Tech story, it's a little bit more of this, so I thought was funny, is they confirmed that they've been in the process of eliminating DEI since 2023. So I thought that was interesting. They made the decision to start discontinuing the programs back then and had already begun eliminating them and realigning their funding. And they're a critical research partner with the federal government, and they're going to ensure compliance with all the federal and state rules as well as policies by the Board of Regents, the University System of Georgia, blah, blah, blah. But then it goes to this. It says the backstory in the WSB article. The decision follows a broader national trend of restrictions on DEI initiatives. No, you literally just said, it was quoted by the Georgia Tech official, that the decision was in 2023. The decision did not follow a broader trend. So this wasn't something that was spurred on by Trump. It happened a year ago. And they're trying to make it as Trump.
The writer will defend that by saying, I didn't connect those two. I said it just followed it.
It followed the broader trend.
I'm just saying it followed it.
It's
I didn't
just
say it was
like-
connected to the broader trend. I just said it followed it.
The writer
I was talking about chronological time.
They probably didn't even register what the person said. They probably just typed it down.
Yeah.
And they had their objective that this is
Yep.
connected to what's going on, and they didn't even realize that this was started before, probably because of a lack of results. Probably because it wasn't a good impact on the school, if I had to guess. They can't drive. They don't have a license, or maybe they do. I think I missed part of that.
That's the Haitian, because that's what was going on.
the Haitian
there was all these
cartel.
Haitian car accidents in
Oh, really?
Springfield. Yeah.
Is that what killed the cats? They actually ran into them, and it's like dinner?
Yeah, they were running over cats and eating them.
Yeah.
That's how you
Okay.
hunt cats in Haiti, is with your
Right.
car.
Yeah. No, it's just as good as bow and arrows. What they had back when we were hunters and gatherers is cars and bows and arrows. Fred Flintstone. All right, a couple more. This is the Pentagon. They're going to be rotating out some of the media from the offices that they have there for the media, which is a whole
I love
other
this
thing
story.
there, which I did apply to get in
Yes.
the press room. I haven't heard back yet. But
Correspondent row or correspondent corridor.
I would love to go to at least one of those.
That's what they
It
call it.
would be a lot of fun. They announced on Friday that they would remove the New York Times, NPR, NBC News, and Politico from their dedicated office spaces in the Pentagon, citing the desire to make room for others. The memo making the announcement said that the news organizations must vacate their spaces by February 14th, Valentine's Day, and in their place it would give dedicated office space to the New York Post, One American News, Breitbart, and HuffPost News, so one liberal outlet there, and that each year going forward, one outlet from print, online, television, and radio will rotate out of the Pentagon to, quote, allow a new outlet from the same medium that has not had the unique opportunity to report as a resident member of the Pentagon Press Corps, the memo said. More than 24 news organizations operate out of the Pentagon, according to Reuters, and they're reporting the daily activities of the U.S. Military. And the outlets that vacate the spaces loaned to them by the Secretary of Defense. They will remain full members of the Pentagon Press Corps. It says the only change will be giving up their physical workspaces in the building, allowing new outlets to be the residents. So they still get to come to the question and answer session. They just don't get to be down the hall from the people. This is just having the press right next in the same building down the hall. It's like Mockingbird a little bit. I mean, you want them close to you. The only reason the Pentagon allows that is so they can control the message.
Sure.
But at least, the way they're doing it is we're going to give a number of people the opportunity to deliver the message. We try to get them to deliver. I know it's the convenience factor of it to be able to get the press wants to cover events and the government wants to, tell the public about things, but it's hard to see the press as independent and not really propaganda straight up when they're that close to them.
Of course.
But I do like that those organizations are getting kicked out of it, with that said.
Yeah, and I think the only way to keep it fair is to rotate it out like that.
Because I'd like to get a seat in there.
Yeah. I mean, what if they had given Hunter S. Thompson a seat in there?
Yeah, he likes to kill people. Isn't that what he said to Letterman the one time?
Yeah.
In an interview. Rachel Maddow had some thoughts on it.
No
that
way.
Girthy neck, that girthy neck of hers. Yeah, she did.
I don't know if I can take it.
You can't take that neck, that penis neck. Here she is. Look at this screen image here. I'm not quite sure what that is. I thought that was like we are here. I thought that was like a birth thing or something at first, but it looks like a pin.
It's a pin drop on a map.
On a map.
And it's she's talking about us. Like, look at that look of concern on her face.
Right. Yeah. She's very good at that. She's very, very good at that. She's an actress. And here's what she has to say about the media. Her media being kicked out of the Pentagon. Oh, this is a butt plug on a map, Nate says.
It's very concerning to her, I bet, right?
Mm-hmm. Look how tight her lips are.
Is this just more evidence towards fascism? More unprecedented stuff?
Of course it is. Yeah, actually, it's exactly what it is.
She says unprecedented. It's another step towards fascism.
Yeah.
These independent, these respected media outlets, these established media outlets,
yep.
and a bunch of...
Close.
I'm getting close?
No, a lot of that is about what she said.
You might also have seen headlines about the move at the Defense Department to take away office space used at the Pentagon by correspondents from the New York Times and NBC News and other major news organizations. Now, it does not mean that these news outlets are banned from covering the Pentagon. It just means they can't cover the Pentagon as well as they do now. I mean, they'll be allowed to attend briefings and, get emails or whatever, make phone calls. But they are no longer allowed to be based there at the Pentagon so they can be there all around the clock while decisions are being made and things are happening. They can't do that anymore. Yeah. That office space has been there for Pentagon correspondents for decades.
Oh, no. What are they going to do?
But in the Trump administration, they're pulling it from well-established, competent, independent news organizations.
And they're beating the shit out of them as they pull it, right? Yeah, ripping the phones right out of their fucking walls.
We'll get them a government shipping container.
Giving them all wedgies and swirlies and kicking them out of the Pentagon.
I would like that. They could make that TikTok video. But listen how she describes them, the ones that are getting kicked out here.
For Pentagon correspondents for decades.
Decades.
But in the Trump administration, they're pulling it from well-established, competent, independent news organizations that they don't like.
Not incompetent.
And that they would like to hurt.
Right, not incompetent, totally controlled news organizations. Yeah. Obama did this with Fox when he was president. Says, help him. Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
All of these.
She does that pause. She holds that pause better than any of these other media propagandists. That silence to emphasize her seriousness.
She really does use silence well, and her holding back of tears is so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When she's speechless, I love when she's speechless.
She's a great actress.
She's really good.
And that they would like to hurt.
Go ahead, keep going.
All of these stories are the same story.
She's the Jamie Lee Curtis
is not just your
of
typical
the news, right?
Yeah.
She's like a Jamie Lee Curtis energy.
She's transgender?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But Jamie Lee Curtis has that pause, you're saying.
No, I'm saying like if I was going to cast an actress in a movie, yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. But I think she's got this kind of Jamie Lee Curtis because Jamie Lee Curtis is a good actress. She's a solid actor.
Yeah, Halloween's a great movie.
And I think Rachel Maddow's got a little bit of that Jamie Lee Curtis energy going on.
Maybe she's her mentor.
Yeah.
Political thing where you've got somebody in the White House or somebody in politics complaining about press coverage. It's not even the typical thing with Trump calling the press the enemy of the people or whatever Stalinist thing he's onto now. This is what they call the Viktor Orban playbook for using the power of government to eliminate.
I'm kidding.
I mean, I love that she said this is what they call the Viktor Orban playbook. Who calls it that?
Yeah.
She just makes this shit up.
Independent, credible, professional journalism. Using the power of government to hurt journalism as much as possible, to weaken it as much as possible.
She hasn't mentioned that he's putting other reporters in there, or quote reporters, but organizations. She's just making it seem like he's kicking all of them out.
Well, to try to drive independent, capable, professional media out of business and into ruin, so that it goes away.
It's gonna be like Gaza right now before Trump builds it back. It's in ruin.
And the only thing that's left is, for lack of a better term, state TV.
So just the irony of Rachel Maddow saying that removing the New York Times and PBS, whatever the other ones were, BBC, whatever to say that those, by taking them away, all you will have left is state TV, when that is all they have been. It's all they've ever been, is state TV.
I know.
Even funded. NPR's even funded by it takes like, they find a
and
public
NPR's
funding, but they get all these grants and shit.
NPR has gotten so bad. I used to be an avid consumer of NPR. Even though they were super liberal, I still enjoyed the production. There was a lot of great stuff on NPR. And then
now it's terrible,
dude. In 2016, they just went fucking.
It's the beginning of the woke
bananas.
era. Is 2016.
Oh, so gross. I can't even listen to it now. I used to love listening to Terry Gross's Fresh Air. She had really fun interviews. I can't even listen to that woman now.
That air's toxic nowadays.
Yeah, it's toxic. It's not fresh air anymore. It's stinky air.
Yeah, it's Gaza air.
Poo-poo air. Gaza air.
In September, a few weeks before the election, the publisher of the New York Times wrote a long op-ed, and in a sort of gesture of solidarity, I think, he published it not in his own paper, but in the Washington Post. So it's the Times publisher publishing something.
It's solidarity among fellow state-run
in the Washington Post. And it was a really important piece. It was about what he thinks, at least, we should have been expecting.
We should, Viktor Orban
if an authoritarian-minded Donald Trump returned to the White House and was determined to do to the press what he had been promising to do to the press through his
How
first
does she
term.
have all these insights? She has all these amazing insights.
She has every playbook.
Yeah.
For every dictator.
She can divine all this knowledge.
What she's taken all the classes. This is authoritarianism 101. What she is she's the mouthpiece for activism. She says playbook and does all this stuff, and actually do turn them into playbooks. And there was a rally outside the Treasury Department today that, and what she did, she had one of those crazy Congress, what's his name, Raskin on, and he was just breathlessly just like, blah, 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 blah. And what they were doing was they were doing a call to action.
Oh, they were was that when they were trying to storm the building?
I don't know if they stormed the building. I watched a little bit of it before the show. Maybe they were, but they were all outside chanting and screaming. It didn't get a lot of mainstream coverage, but she is the one who takes the indivisible thing, their playbook, and she broadcasts it nationally. And all the talking points that you hear from her are consistent with what you see all these local communist activists doing in their towns and in the rallies like outside the Treasury Department yesterday. So she is effectively an activist getting paid tens of millions of dollars to just come provocateur every single night.
Listening to her reminds me of Jobs. Like that I've been fired from, and by bosses I can't stand. And they're giving me these like very concerned explanations about why they're letting me go and what it was that I did.
Right,
And the
yeah.
whole time I'm
It's
just like, shut the fuck up.
shut
Just
up.
Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the
Just
fuck
let me
up.
leave.
Just let me
It's
fucking
fine, yeah.
leave.
Let me get out of here. Yeah. All right, I'll save this other stuff for Thursday. Actually, I'm going to save the Chick-fil-A stuff for Thursday. But so I'm going to read a couple names. Last night, I pointed out how, or not last night, this morning, how Trump signing executive orders and taking questions is like Trump in his first term standing outside the helicopter and taking questions. It's the new version of that, which they called it chopper talk then. And I said, we should name it. We should come up with a name for it. And I got some pretty good.
I love chopper talk.
Chopper talk was, but he does the signing executive order stuff. And so my bad idea is to start the brainstorming where, discourse, sign speak, oval, ostinate. And we got some entries, tiny desk course. That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
It's just in time. Discussions.
Oh.
That's a good one. Just in time.
Yeah.
Pentifications with the pen. I like that one. We'll play on words there. Dictator dictation. That's good. Demon directives. That's good. We have from Soundwave. That was from Jeff from Soundwave. We have Captain EO's jerk circle. That's an interesting.
Yeah, okay.
With a meme of a Michael Jackson. And Renee says egotistical orders, excessive orders, imperial orders, pontifical overload. That's a good one.
I think the pen should be bigger, and the orders
It should be
on-
cartoonishly big, shouldn't
Big
it?
pen, huge paper, two
Yeah.
hands to sign everything.
Right, like one of those big checks that they give the clearinghouse.
Yeah,
stuff
and then
to.
he rips it off that giant checkbook.
Oral Adventures from LPR. Oral Oval Oration from Nate. Those are also good entries. Ruminations from the Resolute Desk from Sir Tim of Tunnels. Orders and Reporters from David. Hair Helmet Hellos. Those are all good. I don't know what the... I think we can put it to a vote. We can make a poll on some of these. I like all of these. So, Ian, tomorrow or Thursday, since you'll have some time, you can come back with maybe some of your entries to that. We can continue this because I'm sure we'll get more.
Oh, sure.
We'll get more there. So, two more quick things and we're done here. We're done. Benedict Cumberbatch is your favorite actor now.
His last name turns me on.
His
last name is
he was a classic Pow Pow from Nate. He was in the news today because apparently he opened up about how
he's MAGA.
he wishes he had not played a non-binary character, a fashion model, in Ben Stiller's Zoolander 2 back in 2016. He regrets it. It's not something that he would do again. I'll have to show you what he looks like. So that movie bombed. And how could he know, though? Because he says that he got in a lot of trouble for that. And that he
a
had,
lot of trouble.
Yeah, he had to apologize.
Got a lot of trouble. He got grounded. Yeah,
He got
wouldn't let him
grounded.
out of his room. He couldn't eat dinner for a week.
He couldn't eat dinner for a week. He had to
You go to bed without dinner, mister.
he had to go to trans ally training.
You're in trouble. Hey, man, I got a new nickname for trans women.
What? Better
Um,
not be sexy.
It is sexy.
Oh, come
So
on,
no,
dude.
so trans women are they're lady-like, right?
That's very good. You're the very lady. It's all in the paws, all in the Mad Aleck paws.
Yeah, lady-like.
Like, yeah. You can
So I
do
call
that.
them lady-likes. What's it? Hey, lady-likes.
I like that. Yeah, so here it is where he played the bite. This is what his character looked like. You see that? He definitely looks a little trans there. But he said it's difficult. It's a difficult one to talk about. I love the group talking about the movie because this movie bombed. I love that group of people, and it was a chance to sort of be a part of something that was iconic, talking about the first Zoolander, and he was a huge fan of it. But it got complicated, and it got misunderstood, and I upset people. I respect that, so I probably wouldn't do that again. In this era, my role would have never been performed by anybody other than a trans actor.
Good luck finding one.
It's called acting. And the entire... So here's some of the dialogue.
So stupid.
Like, would a trans actor do this dialogue here?
Dude, I played a retarded character in a play.
I know, you told me about that. You won an award for it,
I fucking... Yes, and I went full retard.
Yeah,
I went full
Ben
retard.
Stiller. Yeah.
What's that?
Sometimes
Yeah,
you go full retard.
I went full retard. It was a comedy, and it's just funny because the guys who wrote that play are the biggest, wokest people. Oh, anyways.
And this is the same thing here. With this, so this movie is 2016. It was right at the beginning of when things got this became outlawed, and now maybe before they should have said maybe a couple of years ago, because now they could probably make this movie again, and it would be okay. But he says that I remember at the time not thinking of it necessarily in the regards of only a trans person could play the character, and it being more of about. And this is a weird sentence. I don't even know what it means. He says, and it being more about two dinosaurs, two heteronormative cliches, not understanding this new diverse world. Is that really what he was thinking? Does anybody really use that word?
Yeah.
No.
Unless you're an activist.
But I do think, people have been using this kind of shit. They've been
Nate liked
talking
it,
this
yeah.
way since the 90s. You and I just don't realize it. We've only become privy to this stuff, around
Privy.
2016. You like
Trans
that word?
privy.
Privy. Yeah, but people have been talking about in these fucking circles. They've been talking about the fact that gay men shouldn't do drag shows because that's sexist, and it all like privilege and all this shit has been going on forever.
Right, since the beginning.
For 30
of
years
since
or more.
Since the Palestinians first set foot in Gaza. It's been going on. There's going to be no more trans in Gaza. Cumberbatch is not welcome there, and they will never play Zoolander 2, which Nate says he liked.
It's why comedy is dead right now. It's why I've been telling you that's what we got to start producing. We got to make a comedy like an 80s 90s comedy. Not be afraid of it.
I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, man. I got.
We already have it. We have somebody who can play a trans already. Very good.
Yeah.
But so here's the dialogue that they did during the scene that apparently was the one that upset people. Stiller's character says, "Are you?" Can you see that? Can you read that?
Okay. Yeah.
So
do you want me to read it?
Yeah. Who do you want to play? You want to play Cumberbatch or you want to play Stiller?
I'll play Cumberbatch.
Okay. Are you like a male model or a female model?
All is not defined by binary constructs.
Oh, what I think he's asking is, do you have a hot dog or a bun?
All is all.
Yeah,
Dude, I can't believe how many trans people did I
It's
harm
exactly. I've had that
by
conversation a
reading that?
million times.
Do you have a hot dog or a bun?
Yeah, that's is that not the first question? It's a whatever. Why is he talking about that? Who gives a shit, dude? It just makes me like his other characters less. Severance is pretty good. It's weird, but it's pretty good. All right. I don't usually
I like
play
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes. I like. He's a good actor. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. It is Doctor Strange.
He is Doctor Strange. He's good at playing Doctor Strange. What is this? All right. Then we'll go after this. This is last. I don't usually play like other podcast clips, but Barron Trump Rogan. I saw this the other day on Rogan.
Barron Trump was on
I
Rogan?
wish Barron Trump was on Rogan. That'd be hilarious, dude. Barron Trump, dude, that guy. Can you imagine being Barron Trump and having your penthouse and being a freshman in college, dude?
Did you ever see the movie Excalibur?
Nah. That is Doctor Strange, yes, one shot. Okay. I did not. Is he good?
Well, in it's the 80s movie Excalibur, and the son of Morgan Le Fay and King Arthur, that character reminds me a lot of Barron Trump.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So, let me read Denver's comment. Denver says, people I know who work in the movie biz, prop work, stage, and set design. They tell me Ben Stiller is one of the meanest pieces of shit on earth. Like, tries to make people cry. Is that,
Wow.
have you ever
Well, I'd say
encountered
I never
him?
No. John Stewart, though. Super nice guy.
super nice
I
guy.
got to keep defending him. He's a sweet, sweet guy. He
Yeah.
he made work really fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Shout out to Jocelyn. Somebody got the Jocelyn shout out there, Nate.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a very interesting story, and there's actually other stuff like this too that I'm aware of, but I did not know all of this about the name Barron and the Trump name.
Oh, you don't know the whole thing about the story? The book?
I know like other aspects of it, but I didn't know all of this that they're talking about.
Oh, the
here
time travel and stuff?
on Rogan.
Okay.
Yeah.
About the thing with Barron Trump. Have you heard that?
Oh
crazy
yeah,
thing?
that's
What's
nuts
that?
too.
That's wild.
Find that one. That one's nuts too. That one's completely bizarre.
There's a series of books from like, I think it's the late 1800s or something.
Yeah.
About, yes, it's 1900 here, but it's like a person named Barron Trump goes on these adventures, gets a guy from Manhattan to be his like guide. It's very strange and very similar to like what.
See if you can find
Yeah,
what
we
the
find out.
synopsis,
Yeah, yeah.
like what connects it to Barron Trump. It seems real weird.
The book is called The Last President.
The Last President. That's kind of crazy. Because if the shit hits the fan and the aliens land, he is the last president. An 1889 novel called Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. It was written by Ingersoll Lockwood. He would go on to write another book called The Last President in 1900. This mystery which involves the Trump family, Nikola Tesla, time travel, and dark forces.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla's papers were given to his uncle when Tesla died.
Yeah.
And he was credited with using those papers to develop, they credit him with curing cancer, which he didn't, but he developed like X-ray technology, stuff like this. It's crazy.
It's called Castle Trump.
So he follows the adventures of a young aristocrat named Barron Trump living in a castle named Castle Trump, which is fucking crazy. The character is described as intelligent, curious, and somewhat arrogant, guided by his mentor, Dawn. Barron embarks on fantastical journeys, including one to discover a magical portal in Russia.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
When Elon Musk keeps joking that the funniest thing we can think of will always happen,
Is that?
and it's proof that we're living in a simulation,
100%.
I think he's got a point, dude.
Now, if you got 2 more minutes, I can play you one more thing related
Yeah,
to that.
dude, I got 2 more minutes.
All right, I want to switch gears.
That's the wrong one there. Hold on. Where did it go?
Engineers create robo
Oh, here it
soldiers.
is.
All right, I want to switch gears. That's a good
I don't even know how you
TV show, right?
What is
I
this?
suggest
Trust me, I can build a wall around your homes that nothing will penetrate.
Hold on. This is a character named Trump in like a 1950s TV show.
I am the only one. Trust me, I can build a wall around your homes that nothing will penetrate. What do we do? How do we save ourselves? You ask, how do you build that wall? You ask, and I'm here to tell you. You're a liar, Trump.
Dude, acting looked like it was so much easier back then. You just talk like this, and
I
you just
know.
say your lines.
Totally. That's not even all of it, though. I wish they would have shown just the whole thing. I think here's some more of it. Oh, man. So that's not the whole thing. Oh, well. I'll see if I can find the whole clip. I'll bring it to the next show. There's an Excalibur. Barron Trump and Excalibur. Is Barron Trump and Excalibur?
No. That's what I was saying. So,
Oh, that's why you were saying it.
I wish I could look it up. Look up Excalibur, King Arthur's son. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Just look up the
Denver
picture.
put a link to the IMDb.
Look it up. You'll see it. I mean, the face and everything.
Oh, he does look like him. You're right.
Dude,
he
come
really
on.
does. That's
Come
crazy.
on.
Here, look at that. There he
Yeah.
is.
As soon as I saw
Thank you,
Barron, I was
Denver.
like, this is what came to my mind was this exact scene.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. I'll find that full clip for the next show. But the character's a swindler who came into town who's promising to build a wall for everybody.
Yeah.
His name is Trump.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Wild. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out in the chats. And Ian, thank you for, a good time. And, we'll go property hunting in Gaza as soon as Trump gets it built back
getting
better.
that townhouse, getting that beachfront townhouse.
Beachfront property. That's going to be a spring break destination 5 years from now.
Oh, my God.
All right, guys. PropagandaFight.com, at FreedomX Radio on X. Hello, Covell on X.
Hello, Covello.
Hello, Covello. And we do have a special guest coming on Thursday. And also, we have a special guest. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking with Forest Mommy at 9 o'clock about what she's working on. And we're going to be making fun of some of these activists that are training for local work. Commies is what they are. And also just bringing some awareness to what they're going to be doing in Youngstown. So make sure to check that out at 9 tomorrow night. And Ian and I will be back on Thursday. So you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.
Please.
All right, I think so.